Hi guys, how's it going? So today I want to pot up this container. So it's just a sort of a plastic container, quite cheap from the garden centre, but obviously you can use any kind of container you want. I just like the kind of grey colour, and I think it doesn't look too plasticky even though it is a plastic one. But what I want to actually put in it are some beautiful foliage plants. So these plants I picked out purely because they've got the most gorgeous foliage on it, so gorgeous leaves. So a lot of the time when we want to plant up a container, we're thinking of really nice blooms, like lots of different blooms to make a really, really bold colour statement. But I think that you can do that equally well with leaves as well, foliage. So all the plants I've picked are perennials. So in theory you can plant them in here, and then if they grow too big you can then plant them out in the landscape, and then they can grow on to be their mature size. So they're all sort of sun loving, so sun or part shade, but I'll just show you what we've got. So the first plant that I chose was this silver gumdrop heuchera. I mean, just look at it. So the leaves are this sort of purpley silver grey colour, and just absolutely beautiful. So this will really make a good pop of colour. And then it does have these little bloom spikes which are kind of dark pinky, but that's not what I've chosen it. I've chosen it for the foliage. So these heuchera will grow about 50 by 50. So again, it's not quite its full size yet, but that'll just sort of fill in nicely into the container. So the next plant I've selected is this gorgeous eucalyptus. So I know that this does grow into a really big tree, but at the minute it's still really tiny, and I think it's going to fit perfectly into this container. And as I said before, once it starts to outgrow the container, you can then just plant it out in the landscape somewhere. But look at the leaves though. It's that a sort of green, silvery, grey leaves, and it's got sort of a bit of a purpley tinge, which I think is going to work really well with that purple heuchera as well. It'll sort of bring out the colours in each other, I think. So the next plant I picked out was this gorgeous euonymus. So it's Paloma Blanco, and Blanco is obviously white because it's got these white leaves. So it actually gets these white leaves. So when the leaves first emerge, they come out as this sort of light green white colour, and then as they age, they'll age to the sort of darker green. So this plant does grow sort of 70 by 70 centimetres. So again, another one that you can pop out of the container and into the landscape. Sort of in the middle of the border. This one as well you can prune just to promote that bushiness, so just pruning it sort of on the top and the sides. So you can actually make euonymus into a hedge as well. I think that'd be amazing. And the last plant that I've chosen is this sort of trailing ivy. It's variegated ivy. Just look at the leaves, they are just absolutely gorgeous. That sort of darker green in the middle, and then that variegation, the lighter bit on the outside of the leaves. And this is a trailer, so this will sort of hopefully grow a little bit and then trail over the side of the pot as your sort of spiller plant. So yeah, that is the selection of plants. But before we get to planting, I just wanted to show you something that has come up in the garden that's absolutely gorgeous, and I just wanted to show you. So look at this beautiful peony. How amazing is this? So it will sort of open up fully as well. So it opens up and you see the sort of yellow stamens inside. Absolutely gorgeous. So it's this sort of dark pink magenta colour. Absolutely beautiful. So this peony has been in this location for about 4 to 5 years. Since we moved into the house, it has never flowered. And last year I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to try something drastic, and I basically pruned it down to about 15 centimetres, so all the way into the wood, which you're not supposed to do with tree peonies. It's a tree peony, by the way, so minimal pruning is advised. But I just thought, you know what, it's never flowered, I'm just going to try, and I cut it down to about 15 centimetres, and look what it did. It obviously appreciated that, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, back to today's project. So I'm just going to fill this pot up with compost, so you can use any sort of compost or your own compost that you've made and mixing it in with whatever you like. My suggestion would be to just fill it all with compost, so don't put any soil in the bottom, because the soil makes it just reacts differently in a container, and it just compresses and gets compacted, and yeah, it just doesn't drain as well as it would do with a full container of compost. So I'm just going to fill that up, and then we're going to plant those beautiful foliage plants. So I filled it to about there, so leaving a little bit of a lip at the top, because obviously we're going to plant the plants and they've already got soil on them as well, so they've got some root balls, so we need to make way for those as well. So let's get these planted. So I'm just going to plant this one first. So this is the silver gumdrop heuchera, which I think is the star of the show. Well, they're all stars of the shows in their own right, but I think this one, because it's the tallest, I think that's the star of the show. So I think I'm just going to place this on the right hand side a little bit. So the way I do it, I just kind of push the soil up the side of the pot just a little bit to make the hole for the plant. And then I ensure that there's actually going to be soil all the way around that root ball. And then I plonk it in. Now I'm going to put some compost over the top again, so top dress with compost. So I don't need to put it all the way sort of soil level yet. So that's the first one in. So the second one I'm going to plant is this eucalyptus, which I think is going to go really, really well with the purple. There's a tiny tinge of purple in these leaves, and it's going to go really well with the heuchera. So I think I'm going to place that one there. Again, just digging down a little bit, just pushing the compost to the side of the container. Push that one into there. And then the last bigger plant I'm going to do is the euonymus. And that one's just got a smaller root ball anyway, so we'll be able to tuck that one in quite easily. In here. So I'm sort of putting the three plants in the centre really, and then I'm going to sort of put the ivy round to the outside. So I think that's going to look beautiful. Okay, so last plant is the trailing ivy. So this one's going to be a bit of a spiller, so I want to put it sort of around the edge of the pot. So I've got 3 of these, so I'm just going to place them evenly round. Right, so I'm just going to sort of top dress with the compost, so just to fill it up to the soil level and just cover all those roots. And then just very lightly tamp it down, so you don't want to squeeze it too much, just very, very lightly tamp it down so there's no air pockets around the roots. And here it is. So look at those beautiful contrasting leaves. So we've got the heuchera in the corner with its purpley leaves, sort of silvery grey purpley leaves, and then we've got the eucalyptus, sort of greeny silvery leaves, but it has got a little bit of purple in the stems and the leaves, which I think goes really well with the purple heuchera. And then we've got the beautiful euonymus with those bright leaves again, just to add that pop and that contrast. And then you've got the beautiful trailing ivy, which is hopefully just going to grow and trail over the side. So I put 1, 2 and then 3 in the back. So this container is going to look good from all different angles, so I planted it to make sure that it was going to look really good from all angles. And it does. So there, hopefully you're just going to sort of bulk up a little bit, fill out a little bit, and it's just going to be this container of beautiful foliage. So yeah, who needs loads of blooms when you can have beautiful leaves as well and different contrasts? So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope it's inspired you to just maybe try something new, maybe try planting a container just with foliage and see what it looks like. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.